Barakah Haloyim La Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem. This fucking time. I want to say double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and do rule well. I want to say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth to you. I say Shalom. It's brother y'all, what's up? And I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Salakia, my throat's a little bit parched, so to get a little bit of libation. I'm trying to get into some bigger words, but I was talking to this female, she was like, my vocabulary, she's like, you so intelligent, you would think, just, what'd she say, how'd she say it? She said, pretty much like just, she's pretty much like adapt, like, exchange the that word for that word, or a bigger word. But the point being, I found it funny like libation ain't nothing new, but Salakia, I'm halfway tired and whatnot. But through the Spirit, I was gonna do it live, but I wanted to bring up the app, the Bible app, because I wanted to look up the word, show you what it meant and whatnot. I literally was leaving the camp. I just did camp or whatever. I promised my children some pizza, so I went to go get them a pizza and whatnot. Brothers had a little spot we would always go to because we was near a pizza. But they still over there. I'm not far from it. Long story short, I promised them I was gonna get them this pizza, so I'm like, okay, boom. So I grabbed the pizza before I headed home, and I go in there, and it was spiritual because I go in there and Jake literally, cussing. Now these Elamites is, I think it's some Jake in there. It's a few different people working that bitch. I went to jail over there one time because I didn't rule my spirit correctly. The Lord was. I'm gonna tell a quick testimony. Like the whole time I didn't know I had a warrant. The whole time I got a warrant, and I, lost my job, little shit going on. So I lightweight spazzed out on the worker. This bitch ass nigga get scared. He called the police. I'm thinking I'm cool, not knowing I got a warrant. So pretty much, the Lord had been keeping me holding back the police the whole time. And then like I said, I, pretty much, choke myself with the rope. That's why it's so important to control your spirit. But saying all that to say this, I went in there and it's funny too, because the same dude called the police. He literally, when we first met him, gave the camp a pizza. And make you wonder, like, did the nigga, he was fucking a Jake female too. Make you wonder, did he do something to the pizza? These heathen really do hate us. But because it was so crazy too, because pretty much it was right after COVID, and I didn't really do nothing. Like, it was really spiritual. He was up there talking about how long we've been wearing. He's like, it's been years you ain't got a mask on. Now it's other people in there working without a mask. During the whole lockdown shit, I never wore a mask. I'm like, well, what the fuck you talking about? I'm like, it ain't been a whole year. It's some crazy shit. Like, it was real spiritual. But long story short, I'm in this spot. Not to digress, and I know I'm all over the place. I'm in this spot, and it's Jake. Jake spazzed out on, and like I said, it's Elam. No, the dude that was the manager was an Edomite, and Jake like, come outside, I'll beat your ass, or some shit like I did, But long story short, I'm thinking he going to go get people or whatnot, but pretty much other people come out. Now it's so spiritual. I'm just watching to see what because I've been talking about judgment all day. I'm waiting to see if the Lord about to call some judgment. The Lord was so merciful. They literally bowed down to Jake, made the pizza. Like Jake was talking about he wanted a slice of pizza, had them make him a whole, like he wanted it well done, and that's how brothers like their pizza. That doughy shit be nasty sometimes, So brothers prefer like well done, so he was like, he want a well done pizza. They didn't want to make him a whole pizza the way he wanted. He like, I want what I want. He like, it ain't even about the money. So long story short, they ended up bowing down to what he wanted. So it was real spiritual. But I wasn't even gonna do a lesson on it. What maybe, or through the Spirit, what inspired me to do the lesson was pretty much as I was walking to the bathroom, it was two Jake women in there, and they eating, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much she like, yeah, people, people stressed out. And I was like, yeah, because it's at the end of the world, you know what I mean? So, that really could have went pear-shaped for real, but it was spiritual because pretty much that's in the scriptures. In the book of Matthew, you talk about people growing cold or being psycho, So people not going to care about the next person, That dude was willing to lose it all over some food when he could have went somewhere else and got some food because we still in the green tree to a degree. It's spiritual too because there's another ambulance. Judgments, you know what I mean? Like I say, but like I've been quoting all day, pretty much, when the Lord, when thy judgments are in the earth, then shall the people know righteousness, And pretty much, it's a righteous thing when people are in fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I just want to bring up, because, I thought of a few different scriptures. Scriptures talk about in 2 Timothy chapter 3 about in the last days perilous times shall come. You go into that word perilous, which is kalapaz, and I often bring that out because of the fact if you can't see that match up, like that's prophecy, we literally living in these last days and look at all the violence on the earth, and we really haven't seen the way that the Lord you not even gonna want to come outside, you know what I mean? Like the harder this shit get, the more dangerous it's gonna get, you know what I mean? It made me think about like where niggas was getting the PPP money. Niggas sitting up there, how first of all did anybody in the hood know you got PPP money? I like my nephew, his father's, people pretty much, like he had a cousin, pretty much, knocked the motherfucker down because they tried to come into his house and rob him for his PPP money. And he was on the run. They recently, I think like earlier this year caught him. He was all the way in Texas some kind of way. You know what I mean? And that's fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, cause literally all he was doing was defending himself, But yeah, I come to find out, I don't be in the streets or in the hood, like the hood I grew up in no more, you know what I mean? Like, that bitch is like I grew up in East Cleveland, you know what I mean? Like, and, years ago, East Cleveland been dead, you know what I mean? But it's really bad now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a bunch of walking zombies, And I remember the brother Tyon, he was, that's where I met that brother at, you know what I mean? Brothers from Cleveland know who that brother is. Well, brothers that's been in the truth for a minute know who Tyon is. And that's where I met him at, in East Cleveland. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't even try to preach out there now, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing but straight demons out there. But these is the conditions of the battle, like the Lord said, in the last days, perilous times shall come. So again, seeing that, it's like I said, just that quick, you wouldn't think to see certain things at a place where people relaxing and eating. But the Jake female, she was in enough spirit. She like, yeah, people stressed out. And you ain't even got to, just imagine when people not only stressed out, but they a lack of. You get what I'm saying? Like, he had money, but I don't think it was weird because, like, to the point, they were so scared of him catering to him. He had $10. I think he just wanted slices of pizza. But she like, no, I think he was getting a small pizza. Like, instead of getting a slice, I don't know how much a small pizza, I've never bought a small pizza from him. But he was like, he didn't want, because basically, he was like, he didn't want them pizzas. Them pizzas been in there sitting for who knows how long. So he wanted a fresh pizza, which he really wasn't going off. If they sell sliced pizzas and it was only one in there, you're supposed to keep them constantly coming in there. You go to Sam's Club, like, they always constantly making fresh pizza. So for whatever reason they chose, maybe they wasn't that busy that day. For whatever reason, he wasn't completely off. But normally you don't see Jake get catered to like that. So whatever spirit he had on him, like, I wasn't tripping on the spirit, you know what I mean? I looked him right in the face and everything. But he was serious. Like, he scared the shit out of him. And it's kind of funny to a good degree because that Edomite was scared. Like, I'm thinking the Edomite about to come out there. But who come out there is like another employee, you know what I mean? And he looked like an Edomite or something. He like, yeah, and then they like, you need $12. He had a $10 bill. And then he like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to give up the $3. Like, this the employee said that just to cater to him to get him the fuck up out of there. And like I said again, normally, we still in a green tree. So normally he could have been like, okay, fuck that food. I'll just go next door. There's a whole other restaurant next door. So, that was the Lord really giving mercy, for real. Damn sure didn't happen like that when I went to jail in that business. But, that was my life. So you can't really even get mad when certain shit take place, because at the end of the day, everything happens to the will or by the will of Yahweh Shem Shah. But, you know, again, that could have been real ugly, you know what I mean? And I wasn't saving nobody, not the bitches, not the Elamite, not the Edomite. I wasn't even gonna stop Jake. I was gonna let Jake go ahead and get bitty. So this Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12, and it reads, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So when you go into that word iniquity, it's pretty much like the sin upon sin, you know. So the constant transgressions, and we talking about the Heavenly Father's transgression of the laws, statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father. Now, but not only have they been trespassing and will trespass the Heavenly Father's laws, they gonna trespass Esau, Edom's laws, you know. And you're seeing that now. That's why these people, you know, in certain cities like California and New York, where the crime has increased so dramatically, you know, it's talking about how I think Kamala was trying to say the crime didn't increase. Trump was trying to say the crime did increase. You know what I mean? Like, this is how much these motherfuckers is lying to you, you know what I mean? Then they try to say, you know, fact check what Trump said, and it was like it was untrue. You know what I mean? They working together, but they working against each other too. You know what I mean? Like, it's you know, that shit probably so cutthroat. Just imagine, you know, because America breeds a spirit of, you know, get it by any means necessary. You know, you got to remember the game of Monopoly. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real, like, shrewd, fucked up game. You know what I mean? The whole game, point of the game is to bleed a motherfucker dry till they have nothing, till they just completely destitute. And that's the spirit in Babylon the Great. It says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You know, again, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, when you go into that word, in the last days, perilous time shall come. That word perilous goes into the word calapas, meaning dangerous, fierce, hard to bear, hard to do. You know, so it's gonna be dangerous out here. You know, motherfucker might not even take a chance of going to get nothing to eat. That's what I was thinking about that. Like, the Lord was really holding back. Like, the Lord did that. Like, because I'm up there, I'm praying, you know, yeah, let this shit go down, you know what I mean? But obviously the Lord wasn't ready for it to go down, you know. Though it tarry, wait for it, it surely will come, it will not tarry. You know, the Lord stops and starts these things when he wants to, and for whatever reason, the Lord stopped it. But just imagine, you know, maybe certain people ain't sealed, or maybe, you know, sometimes Jake be thinking they ready and ain't really ready, you know what I mean? Like, for whatever reason, the Lord chose to not let that, you know, let that judgment, you know, he chose not to unleash those four winds, you know what I'm saying? But when you go into this word, shall wax cold, you know, it's the word is psycho.
Strong's G 5594. Sucho.
I mean, it pretty much psycho. You see the transliteration, and it says to breathe, blow, cool by blowing, to be made or grow cool or cold. Metaphor, waning love. Waning love, meaning it's, you know, waxing is to grow, waning is to, you know, to, what's the word? Pretty much grow to, you know, decrease. You know, so, you know, motherfuckers is not gonna be, you know, like back in the day, and you see that, you know, Jake talk about like back in the day in the projects, in a place like the projects where, you know, Jake would keep the area clean. You know, drugs wasn't be just sold in your face. You know, you can knock on your next door neighbor's house for a cup of sugar or a cup of milk. Now you can't do that. You know what I mean? You might get killed trying to go knock on their door. You know what I mean? So, you know, and it says, psycho saku, says to breathe, but gently, thus deferring on the one hand, from which denotes properly a forcible respiration, probably to inanimate breeze, implication reduction of temperature by elevation, chill, figuratively. So waning love, you know what I mean? Pretty much people gonna have less love for one another, you know what I mean? Love of many, so, you know what I mean? And that's why you're gonna lead to your 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. You know, pretty much going into, you know, the neighbors' houses in search for food to take care of your family. So yeah, I mean, and like I said, when the old girl said that, instantly the spirit jumped on me like that's a video, because people are stressed out, and, you know, being that they stressed out, them spirits jumping on them. You know, they don't know how to, you know, like today I was at camp, you know, and Jake walked past, he talking shit, you know, and he not looking at me, but he talking shit. Oh, you niggas, and I didn't pay attention at the time. I'm in my emotions, my feelings, and not really thinking. A spirit jumped on him. Because I literally, but I'm so stressed out as well. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm thinking like, nah, I'm not going to start anything. But the scriptures tell you we got a right to defend ourselves. And right at that moment, I'm like, I wish this nigga would touch me. I might even let you hit me the first time. Because I see the punch. It ain't like you sucker punch me. I'm going to eat that bitch and try to beat the dog shit out of you. Like real talk. And it's all on camera. I'm defending myself. Like, fuck out of here. Like, a motherfucker need to be, like I remember the elder Malcolm said something one time, like when he was going through a situation. I never forget, I forget what the name of the video was, but I'll never forget him saying it. He's like, he used to literally, like, because he was going through something with a woman, he'd pull over and he like get into a road rage or get into it, like motherfucker be beeping at him while he was driving, and he'd get out the car and beat the dog shit out of the motherfucker. But, and when you really look at that through the spirit, the Lord was using him as angel judgment. You know what I mean? The Lord was using him to judge particular people. That's all it was. And if you, like I was speaking on at camp, like you got a lot of people that'll look at us like we soft or weak because of the fact, we read the scriptures, but you know what I mean? Men in the truth know actual, that's the Lord putting spirits on certain men, like, cause you got brothers that came into the truth knowing these things. You got certain men that came into the truth like being cold in the streets at boxing, and like I've been around the brothers in Chicago. Certain brothers, they I watch them. They sit up there, trading blows and going to, not slap boxing, but going to the body. You know what I mean? Trading blows. So don't get it twisted, and that's why brothers be in a riled up spirit. Scriptures talk about the Lord gonna send for hunters. We fishing right now, but eventually it's gonna turn into hunters. And we gonna, men gonna hunt. Believe that, So, I just pray that the Lord, supping and, the Lord protect. I mean, I ain't necessarily got to get spiritual power. I don't know who gonna get it. And to be honest, I may not deserve them. You know what I mean? Like, but I do pray that the Lord either protect, hide, or give me spiritual power, like the elder Mwatazak said. Make me a killing machine, either hide me or protect me and my household, as well as all the hopeful elect. And with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kodesh Rakatham. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwan out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.